Hey guys, Tejas here. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how I use AI as a game developer in my daily workflow. This is not a video about AI will replace you or just copy paste the code and relax. This is purely based on my perspective and based on my goal. Okay, a bit of background about me. So right now, I'm transitioning from a product manager to a game developer, and my goal is to be top 1%. I know it's very hard. It's really hard. It might take years for me to achieve this, but that is my goal. So this is the workflow that I was using when I was a product manager. So I had an idea concept. I used to brainstorm it with Claude and ChatGPT, and then once they gave an output, I used to have multiple iteration, push back certain stuffs, and once I was satisfied with the output, that is when I used to ask Claude to give me a prompt that I could use in V0 dev and build a prototype. And again in V0 dev I used to do multiple iteration till I feel the prototype was up to the mark, right? So this was a workflow as a product manager when I was using it. So like I said, I am transitioning from a product manager to a game developer. Prototyping design is totally a different skill than building a actual working product. Right? That's the reason I'm changing how I use AI in my daily workflow. So I don't copy paste code into the editor. What I do is I ask AI to write me a script. For an example, this is a script, right? I mentioned write me a script for enemy spawner in random places around player position, and then AI gives me the entire code. Great. Any normal developer would copy code, paste it in the editor, follow the instructions, follow the steps, and it works. Great. But what I do is I type each and every line of code in my editor. I do not copy paste it. Second thing is I ask AI to explain me each line of code. Then it gives me a brief description about what the each line of code does and along with examples. So that is when I understand why do we use random.range, why do we use mathf.sin, mathf.cos, right? So this is how I'm currently learning, and it is great. So far I know whatever I've built so far. I've almost finished 60% of my project, of the prototype project, and whatever I've built so far, 40-45% is something I know what it does, and I know what to change, right? So this is how I am using currently in my game dev journey, right? Also it gives me a small chart as to what exactly the entire script does. So I know people will tell, isn't AI supposed to make you fast? But the process that you follow is very slow. Right? I agree, right? The process that I follow is very slow. I type each and every line of code, and then I go through I understand each and every line of code. But for me, I think in my current journey where I am right now, this is the right approach for me. So that after 6, 7 or 1 year down the lane, then since I would know entire fundamentals and basics, then it's very easier for me to copy paste any code. Of course, I will glance through the code, but I think right now I'm slow, but later on I'll be fast. But there's another catch also, right? Let's say if you copy paste the entire code into your project and it works fine. After a few hours, something breaks, right? You add some more references, you add some more dependencies, and something break. But then you'll spend your most of the time fixing that particular bug, right? It's happened in tech industry, right? Where the code works and then after few days the code breaks, right? So I don't want to fall under this particular trap, right? So it's better for me to understand each and every line of code rather than spending hours debugging the issue. So this is my personal preference. I don't memorize code, and no one memorizes the code. I just want to understand the concepts, the logics, the math, physics, system design, everything, right? I want to understand what I'm building. I just don't want to ship product or features. I want to understand, and I want to do it right. I don't want to take any shortcuts. Okay, so last week I was going through few videos on game design, critical thinking, etc. Right? I came across this particular sentence in that video. You are intelligent until you run out of tokens. I don't blame anyone, nor I'm pinpointing to any of the developers out there. But you think about this. I'm not gonna touch up on this in brief, but it's for you guys to think. Now, people will tell, don't you use Claude Code, terminal tools where the AI has the entire context and AI will not make mistakes. I'm not fully convinced because maybe the error rate would come down, right? But AI will still tend to make mistakes because there are few things that that you have coded based on the roadmap of your product or based on the future plans of the particular product. AI will not have that kind of knowledge that is there. Plus, sometimes the code might work, but there is no error, there is no nothing. The code will work, but you will not get the same result as expected. And this is one of the classic example of my own project last year when I was completely dependent on AI. I copy pasted the code into my editor, and there was no bugs, there was no issues at all. Everything ran perfectly fine. But when the enemy tried to attack me, I was taking zero damage. That was because the AI by mistakenly assigned zero as a damage when creating the variable. And later on, it took me some time to debug, but then we changed it to the right number, and it got fixed. Right. So this code is also correct. It is correct, but the result was not as expected. So all I say is you should review the code. You shouldn't just blindly copy paste and be dependent totally on AI. I know people will tell, why don't you learn from YouTube or Udemy? Well, I did that in past. I had purchased few courses from Udemy to learn. But what happens, the instructor will teach you the final product. They will not show you the process of building the product. They will not show you the bugs that they have encountered. But when you start building your own project from scratch, and when you encounter these bugs, you will be clueless on how to fix it. Again, you will go to AI asking to fix a particular bug. For me, the use of AI works very well here because it is my learning journey, right? We have to understand one thing: each person has its own learning journey on how they understand stuff. One video cannot be for multiple audiences. For me personally, I like my learning journey to be tailored towards my preferences, right? So that's why I use AI, and I keep on asking questions till the time I understand the particular concept. Right now I'm very slow, but once I understand everything, maybe later on I'll be very fast. So other ways I use AI is to brainstorm ideas, doubt related to tech, generate image, and I use less of Google and more of AI right now. Brainstorming ideas has worked well with me so far, and generating image, you have already seen this image is generated by AI. So this is how I use AI in my daily workflow. Now, comment down below. How do you guys use AI in your daily workflow? And do subscribe to my channel. Do follow me on my Instagram and join my Discord server. The link is in the description. And I'll see you guys in my next vlog.